So that, to me, is who I am. What have I done about it? All my adult life I've been involved in government. That means something. Because honestly, the people that I love the most are the people who get up off the bench and get into the fight. That doesn't mean I agree with everybody. Even some of the people I respect the most, I disagree with all the time, especially in Congress. There's some guys I don't agree with anything. But I love the fact that they're willing to fight, willing to argue, willing to push and shove to make the world a better place as they see it. That's what it's all about. I don't know about anybody here, but I never saw anybody make progress on any issue that wasn't willing to get their hands dirty, to work at it, to talk to people, to try to convince people to change their mind, for me to change my mind on occasion, or to compromise, knowing, look, I want this, but I can't get it, so maybe I'll take that. But that's what life is. And I love these people that want to run for office. And again, I've held them all, from school committee to president, and somehow pretend you don't have to compromise. If elected, I will give you health care for all. Well, if I'm elected emperor, I will give you health care for all. Short of that, I'll do my best. And I'll work hard, and I will compromise. I will know I'm compromising, and I'll tell you I'm compromising. And I'll tell you one compromise I've already made. If you made me emperor, we'd have a single-payer health care system. We're going to have a vote in the House on that. I don't think we're going to win. Well, if we do, great. But if we don't, what am I supposed to do? Say, oh my God, I didn't get my way? Let's not make any progress? The compromise is, okay, if I can't get that, I need a strong, robust public health care option. That's a compromise. That's what that is. It's a thoughtful one, it's a reasonable one, it's not everything I want, but we'll try. Now the question is always, those are easy. The question gets, what is a strong? That's more compromise. And in Congress, I've made more compromises in my life than ever, because here in Massachusetts, no matter how many differences we have, people think they have a lot of differences, but the truth is, stop and think about it. Do you know anybody who calls himself a Democrat in Massachusetts that doesn't believe we should have health care for all? There are questions and differences of opinion on how to get there and how we can afford it. I don't hear that at home. Here in Massachusetts, it's all about, let's do it, let's try it, let's keep going. Washington, that's not the way it is. Down there, sometimes people forget about it. You're on your own. And folks, that's the main difference between a Democrat and a Republican. Democrats believe, in general, that we're all in it together. That we owe each other something. We owe each other some form and some degree of health care, some degree of good education, some degree of housing. None of us believes in allowing people to be homeless. And if people can't take care of themselves, we're all willing to step up and do something to help. Maybe not everything, but do something. The National Republican Party doesn't feel that way. They think we're on our own. Can't afford health care? Too bad. Can't get a good education? Your fault. Can't find housing? Get 3 more jobs. That's the difference. That's the fight in Washington, and those are the values that I hold. But you know what? All those values, they're very interesting, and they mean something. They don't mean much unless you know how to get something done. I still think like a local official. I still ride down the streets and I notice where the potholes are, I know which trees need to be trimmed, and I still get on the phone and call. What good is a local selectman if they can't get that pothole fixed? The answer is not much. I will talk about potholes all day long. I won't do a damn thing about it. Oh, I can't, that town manager, I can't get him to do anything. How long will that person stay in office? Somehow we tolerate that on the national level. I'm for health care for all. What are you going to do about it? You're going to stand up? You're going to fight? You're going to take a tough vote when it matters, or you're just going to make a speech. I can't tell you how proud I am of a couple of votes. One of them, the easier one, was the Iraq War. I'm proud of the fact that I voted against the Iraq War. But when I did, it didn't get that kind of response. Got some, but not that much. I'm even more proud because it was a much tougher vote, politically, not personally, that I voted against the Patriot Act. You know why? Because as I said, I know when I'm compromising. Again, nothing wrong with compromises, but there has to be something that you can't compromise on. There has to be something that every elected official, I don't care what level it's on, is willing to lose an election on. And if it's not war and peace, I don't know what it is. If it's not human rights, I don't know what it is. If it's not civil liberties, I don't know what it is. Those three items are uncompromising. To me, I don't mind people making mistakes, people differently. That's fine. I'm not anointed with all the answers. But can you imagine voting to send somebody else's children to war on the basis of what you think is a political vote? I think there's a special place in hell for those people. I don't mind being wrong. Everybody's wrong. I've made some votes I'd like to change. The point is, do what's right. Have a line. I think that's what this election's about. It's about philosophy. It's also about the willingness to stand up and fight for that philosophy and do so successfully. We're trying to fill Ted Kennedy's seat, not his shoes. None of us can do that. We're trying to do that. That's what this election's about. That's your choice. What was Ted Kennedy? Did he just make big, grandiose speeches and go home and go sailing, and that was the end of the day? When you make those speeches, lead us in the efforts that we thought about, and then get to work in Washington to actually make some of these things happen. To me, if you don't have all three of those, you're not fully qualified to be senator. Now, none of us are Ted Kennedy. I'm not. Number one, Ted Kennedy was in the Senate for 47 years. If I'm in the Senate for 47 years, I will be 104 years old. So I'm not going to be Ted Kennedy. Neither is anybody else. Okay, you still have to have a senator. The question is, who is in the best position to do the best job of the people running, to pick up the baton and keep running forward? This is a very short election, and I'm not kidding about this. I had more time to run for Ward Alderman in Somerville in 1977 to represent 5,000 people than I do to represent 6.5 million people in the Senate. That's the rules, sorry. I don't have time to meet everybody. None of us do. I'm going to do the best I can to do it. We're all running all around the state, been in 4 places already today. And I actually like this. For those of you who have ever done running for office, some people hate it, and I don't blame them. It's tough. But I actually like it. I like meeting people. I like talking about important issues. I like you judging me, believe it or not. And that's all I ask. I will ask for your vote and your support because I should. But what I really want, and what the media never thinks we do, they think we're all sheep. Oh, well, the voters will do this, the voters will do this. Here's what the voters will do. You'll study. You'll look at us all. You'll measure, just like I do when I go to vote. You'll try to figure out who everybody is. And let's be serious. I wish there were gulfs of differences between us. I wish, you don't think I'd like to be running against George Bush? That'd be great. It'd be easy for you. It's not. The differences are there, and I think they're serious, but they're not as obvious as that. They're more nuanced.